Well, sometimes I'm tempted to bop my head, to some rhythm and sound, but singer-songwriter there, an engineer, well, no, sir. Well, a great song, but now that kind of song is a song that we should be singing now for our own egos. You call them super flies, but they are
Flies?
they are fantastic. Anything that fly is a fly, but again, you have to be super. And joining us to look at the big one, the Super Eagles versus Congo. Well, we have three gentlemen, Tonte Davis and Talima Davis. They're both sports analysts. Many thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
And of course, we have Chris Obiako, who is also a sports analyst. Good to have you join us this morning.
Thank you very much.
Well, everyone is excited about this. We'll also talk about the letter of FIFA and see how that pans out. But talking about the big cracker today, which is the match between Nigeria and Congo. Well, Calabar is already abuzz, and everyone is expected to see that we sail on. Well, for Adeshawa, she's not really comfortable that Inyama is not there. We'll come back to that.
I am not. That's the lifesaver. I am not comfortable. Anyway, I have my questions much.
So tell us preparations towards this festival. We had the case of people saying that, well, the Eagles are coasting on without a coach, and finally we saw the big boss come in. They're saying that, well, a lot of great Nigerians spoke to him, and he had to leave his base to come see that we fly our soar to victory today. Are you optimistic about the big match?
Very much optimistic. There's a lot of positive coming out from the camp, and again, the vibes we're actually seeing and receiving around and within the team, it's very encouraging. First of all, the players invited into camp are all decent players, regardless of the clubs they actually ply their trade for in Europe. Then again, the fact that players actually responded early enough, it's a good sign again for Nigeria. Very encouraging. It's a trend which we've seen going on under Coach Stephen Keshi, and it's a very good one, very good positive for Nigeria moving ahead. So indeed, I am optimistic concerning the game today.
What about you, Chris? Knowing full well that some are already talking about the list, saying that there are, he's had this culture of inviting some unknown names.
Yeah, I'm fully in support of the invitation of unknown names, because if you look at the caliber of players that we took to the Nations Cup in 2013, nobody gave somebody like Sondemba that came up when the ovation was loudest and delivered. Nobody gave him a chance to perform. And how do you discover these guys? Is by giving them chances to perform at the highest level. So there's no doubt about the fact that what he has, his modus operandi, Stephen Keshi, is working out for him. And you see, what we have to do in this part of the globe is to support him. Because if you look at the coaches that came to the World Cup finals, Brazil 2014, Keshi ranks about 31st when he comes earning. No, about 29th, 30th, when it comes to earning. But you discover that a coach like Fabio Capello that earns about 11 million something a year, that translates to about about 900 and something $1,000 a month, which is Keshi earns like 392,000 a month, and this man earns a year, and this man earns 900 and something thousand a month. So you start looking at the figures. And this man, the same Fabio Capello, his team, Russia, were eliminated in the first round. But Keshi took the team all the way to the second round. So I think it's high time we started looking at his performances and his ideologies from a different perspective and give him the chance he needs. It's very important.
Let's take a moment to talk about the ongoing crisis between the NFF. It's almost like if we don't get it right, whatever we do today, whatever the outcome of today's match is, it's like, playing the ball into the bush.
So
how do you see,
I think that should go to you.
Well, first of all, I think the crisis in the glass house should not affect what happens on the field of play today, because the players, they are professionals. Like Sonia Luku pointedly said yesterday, he said they see similar things, similar trends happening where they ply their trade in Europe. And as a result of that, regardless of that, they still go onto the field and put in their best. So with coming back home, seeing this quite similar pattern happening here, we expect them to still put up that show of professionalism and go into the stadium Calabar today and give us the the desired results. That said, everybody in the sports industry in particular who are directly affected by what is happening in the glass house, especially football enthusiasts and writers. And we're glad that, because the worry had been that, which the Chris Giwa faction still insists that he's the bona fide president of the house. Now, and there were claims that previous letters which have been written by FIFA were not authentic. Now, FIFA has addressed that by putting it on their website for everybody to see. And but the fact that FIFA has come into the picture with this recent development, it shows that whether we like it or not, there's definitely going to be an end to this whole saga. I want to cast our mind back to 2010, to our foray at the 2010 World Cup in South Africa. After our performance at the group stage, poor performance to put that clearly, the president came out and with the intention of pulling our football teams from international football for 2 years. And also he said we were going to put an interim committee to run the affairs of football in the country. FIFA responded to that declaration and pointing out to him that if you don't reverse this intention, we're going to ban the country. A similar pattern happened with France. Nicolas Sarkozy, the former president of France, also said he was going to personally lead an investigative committee to investigate what happened with the French team in South Africa, because they put up a very poor show, and in-house they had within themselves they had in-house fighting. Now, FIFA also came out to say that you have no right to interfere. This is for a developed country. They came out to declare that you have no right to interfere with the process and development of football in the country, because the statute spells out that no interference from the government or any other body aside from FIFA themselves. Now, why should Nigeria be different? We now think that because some people believe that they can do what they will and what is in their own best interest at the detriment of the entire country. It's not going to happen, and so in view of that, FIFA would definitely step in.
Well, we already know that, as you highlighted, that it won't disturb or affect those in camp now or getting ready for the big match. And Telema, the big issue now is that whether we like it or not, well, we are the champions, but that doesn't preclude that we will have an easy ride. And Nigeria is trying to be one of the 2 teams from its group that will be in Morocco next year. How possible is that, knowing full well that the Congolese national team is a vibrant team, a strong team, even though Claude Leroy 2 months ago did say, well, the Super Eagles are indeed super, not knowing that he will be meeting the Super Eagles in a couple of months.
To be sincere, regardless of the changes, the evolution of football in modern times, given the fact that we no longer have minnows, again, be it in Africa or elsewhere, definitely we cannot take Congo-Brazzaville for granted. We need to actually be professional, we need to be disciplined, we need to work as a team. The most important thing going into this game for us is to play for each other and play with each other with one thing in mind, the need and the desire to win. It's regardless of what anybody actually speculates, it's regardless of what the frame up of the Congolese team. We cannot actually give ourselves sleepless nights over the fact that yes, they actually are vibrant, yes, they actually do have a robust team coming in, but we must be mindful of the fact that they are coming into the land of African champions, and that in itself actually serves as a psychological warfare, so to speak, against them coming here, because they know that definitely it's not going to be easy for them. It's not going to be an easy ride for them to actually walk over Nigeria. Nigeria definitely have to be calm, disciplined, play their game, not to the gallery, but play their game based on instruction from the coach Stephen Keshi, and again with the professionalism individually they actually do have, and they're bringing into the field of play. It's regardless of what the Congolese actually threw at us.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the players themselves, and I'm directing this question to Mr. Obiako. The swaps. I am very particular that Ayama would be part of this team. It's a serious worry for not just me, but a few other fans around the world. I'm a fan. And also, tell us more about Nosa Igebo, because he's also coming on board, I believe, for today's game.
Yeah, I want to start by saying that as the captain, because presently Ayama is the captain, Vincent Ayama is the captain of the national team, after Yobo had pulled out after the World Cup finals. As the captain of the national team, it is unprofessional for him to just decline. I said he will not come. And
he cited family problems.
Yes, but then you have to look at the fact that presently this is the first match we are going to play after the World Cup finals. And considering the fact that there is impulse at the glass house, and the fact that we have to, this is a very sensitive period. We have to pull our resources together and be able to move ahead. He is needed in this match. Definitely he is needed. But having said that, what I'm trying to say is that at this point in time, we would have needed an Ayama that was very impressive in the World Cup finals.
Very
impressive. And because the psychology in football is that when players are seeing a particular player in the field of play, maybe the keeper, it gives them that kind of, the morale they need to facilitate the plans they have for the match. So, and when you see a certain Neymar in a field of play, or you see a certain Messi or a Cristiano Ronaldo, it gives you that confidence that something is going to happen with these guys around. So, I think it's a big hole in the team. But again, you spoke about Nosa Igebo. I think that guy is a guy that would have taken to the World Cup finals and would have delivered.
So it's a good swap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and when you remember that when Ogenye Onazi had an injury, we had problems in that position.
Big.
Yeah, huge, massive problems. And I was looking at that guy being part of that team and the impact he would have made. But that one is gone because the coach at all times, I maintain the coach at all times should take the brunt if he loses a match. He should take the praise if he wins a match. So whatever, any kind of thing he presents, I don't normally, criticize him because I know that at the end of the day, I'm not going to be the one who will take the blame for a defeat. I'm not going to be the one who take the praise for a
Fair enough.
So what I'm saying is that Igebo is a very good addition to the team, and I'm sure he will prove his mettle.
Can I quickly just make a comment regards Ayama? Yesterday, information came out concerning Giorgio Chiellini for the Italian team. He's currently injured and he's not going to be available for the game against Norway on Monday. Now, that said, he has chosen not to return back to his club, but to stay with the national team.
Because of the injury.
Despite the injury, as he did, and that in itself actually supports. So he actually offers a show of support for the team. So just the same way he actually